Alright, today we're going to dive into Denver's largest exotic fish auction club called the Colorado Aquarium Society, CAS for short. They're in affiliation with the Colorado Aquarium, and the CAS Club hosts biannual grand scale auctions and monthly auctions here in Denver, Colorado. And they're experiencing a lot of issues and problems with their current website, which is utilizing a hybrid model for their in-person real-time auctions. Currently, their website is built using old technology. It's archaic in nature. The user experience is flawed, and it's not very intuitive or visually appealing. And they require major updates because as time has gone since their previous website was built, their needs have also evolved and changed. And therefore, this website that we've created them will address all of these different factors and solve many of their critical problems. We began by really trying to understand what exactly are at the crux of the issue for the CAS Club, and by understanding their problems we were able to strategize and make a very deliberate solution in our website. And this was outlined in our requirements documentation, where we really outlined the full scope of what it is that we needed to build functionally. We outlined our technical specification, including the actual technology choice that we wanted to utilize for solving the problem. And then we also outlined the design and the diagrams that were necessary for intuitive, user-friendly design and aesthetics for the website. In our requirements documentation, we outlined exactly what functionality were key pieces for our client, and also exceeded many of those requirements throughout the course of the semester as we built our entire website. The basic requirements included key functionality as outlined here on this slide. The technology specification that we chose to involve was the mean stack. Mean standing for M as in Mongo, E as in Express, A as in Angular 8, and N as in Node.js. And we chose the mean stack because it's dynamic, it's modern, it's maintainable, and it's very functional for a lot of the issues that the CAS Club was experiencing, and we could build custom functionality for them specifically for their needs. By building custom tailored solutions, we are going to be able to solve the exact needs of our client and ensure that they are satisfied with the end product. In our first semester timeline, we went through the documentation, understanding scope. We started with our initial builds, and we also started learning mean more deeply because we knew that this was the right way to pursue the problem and solution strategy. And therefore, in December, we also started to build out majority of the website, key components, and also making sure that we were on track for deployment next semester, which is what happened then in January. We were able to launch our first successful deployment, and then we went through the testing phases throughout February and March, which were very intensive, and we understood a lot of the feedback that we were getting was critical, and we started to re-implement that feedback into our design process because that was very valuable to us, and we understood that our end users were offering key insights as to how the site mechanics should be better utilized and optimized. And therefore, in April and May, that's when we spent a lot of time perfecting the design and making sure that what we built was not only functionally ready, but also intuitively and visually ready for our client and their organization. Here's a few screenshots of our implementation. You'll see many of them, including homepage, sign in, sign up, the various dashboards, add item. These are we are not going to spend too much time on, but you'll notice a very sharp contrast from our screenshots on this slide, which was our initial build-outs when we first started using Angular. And as you can see, we've come a very long way. The design and aesthetics that you see on this slide are frankly awful, and we really made remarkable progress over the course of time by better understanding Angular and its framework. After visiting the CAS live auction in person, we had a very intuitive and deep understanding of the mechanics of the actual auction process, and we decided to build the define order functionality based off our visit to the live auction hosted by the CAS. Define order is used to queue items into an auction in an effective and organized fashion, reducing burden on the staff members. After going through several testing rounds, we also recognized that the feedback that we were getting was really instrumental and key to implement it back into the site, because a lot of it was based off of people who had never engaged with the site, and their feedback was fresh, and it was really nice to get that angle and perspective and re-involve it into the site, and it added a lot of great optimizations. Here's a few screenshots of our user and staff dashboard. These are two key components of our website, and they have their respective functionality. Staff dashboard having much more functionality, of course, because they are, of course, administration. This is also a view of our real-time auction handling screens. On the left, you'll see the define order function, which allows for staff to queue items from an auction into a list that they feel is organized for their needs in real time, reducing burden in the actual auction setting. And on the right-hand side, you can see the auction projection screen, which is used in the actual auction on their screen in order to best showcase the products. And in one click, staff is able to assign a transaction from seller to bidder. Here's also screenshots of our user and staff profile functionality. Of course, admins have to have a lot of oversight and control into the website where they can manage people, items, and auctions. And on the right, you'll see the user profile where actual members can manage their own profiles as well. And finally, you'll see our auction and quick sale secure transaction integration using the PayPal API. Currently, the CAS staff has a lot of issues and sluggish nature to their website because during the auction, everybody needs to pay, and they have to do it in person at the moment. And the way that we've designed the website allows for them to assign a transaction, and people on their devices can easily transact without having to burden anybody from the CAS staff. And we also involved a PayPal as well as debit or credit card integrations, and then we also have a pay by cash method for those who have to pay by cash. Additionally, we also have a way for staff members to view the records from each auction, so that way they can see their transaction history. This concludes the majority of what we wanted to outline in our video today. It kind of goes through a lot of what we've done through semester 1 and 2, and we've learned a lot in that process. We thank you for your time, and we appreciate it.